And then we're going to move over here to California to Sandy. Hi, Sandy. How may we help you today?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Stressed out.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you. My question is, well, actually, my husband has been having, he's had 4 affairs since March.
4 different
and
women?
He moved in with
4 different women?
women. Yes.
Okay.
I found out about 2, and then he confessed that there was 4.
Okay.
We went to counseling. We went to a faith-based therapist together. He said he wanted to work it out.
Mm-hmm.
While we were working it out, he lied and said that he'd stopped seeing all of them, but yet every day he was going and living with the 22-year-old
Mm-hmm.
who's in college.
Mm-hmm.
So I found out that he was lying, and he still continues to live with her since June. He moved out. We have 2 kids, and it's been, really hard.
How old are your kids?
13 and 10.
Okay. And your husband living with a 22-year-old, he is how old?
44.
Okay. Did anything happen, Sandy, relatively quickly or soon before he started this behavior? You said he started this behavior in March. Has anything happened since,
Yes.
what happened before he started doing these things?
No, actually, nothing really happened. It's just we had a lot of disagreements about disciplining the kids.
Mm-hmm.
He saw it differently. I wanted, he was very passive, and
Okay.
I was the disciplinarian.
Okay. All right. I'm asking things
I would
like,
put
did he
boundaries.
go through any kind of job change? Did anybody close to him die? Was there any life
No.
event? Nothing like that.
No, nothing.
Okay. So when we start looking at this and you say that suddenly, starting in March, he starts doing something that apparently was very contradictory to who he'd been before, is there no way to figure out what the trigger might have been? What made the change occur? I mean, was there any event of any kind that likely or at least possibly could have spun him off in a different direction?
Maybe we were becoming more distant,
Okay.
maybe arguing more.
Okay.
And he had an affair 14 years ago.
Okay. All right. So there's no life event that we can place our finger on here. All right. So the
No.
other women, not the 22-year-old, what ages were the other women?
I just know of one. She was 44.
Okay. So one was his age. And if I may ask, how did he meet this 22-year-old?
The 20. Oh, it's ridiculous. He tells me, I don't know to believe it or not, at a bus stop.
At a bus stop. So your husband regularly rides the bus?
Doesn't. He drives. No, he doesn't take the bus. That's what was so odd.
Okay. So if he met her at a bus stop, he was doing something that was a little unusual in his behavior. I mean, he typically would not be at a bus stop. Okay.
No.
As far as you know, that they have any other connection in any other way, like did she work at the same place? Did they go to the same gym? Anything like that you know of?
No, she's in college. I found out.
Okay.
She goes to college where he's living now.
Okay. All right. Okay, so I think I've got the picture. So help me understand, what question do you have that maybe I can help you with?
My question is he ever going to come to the realization that what he's doing is not healthy and he's breaking his family apart?
Well,
he has no remorse or regret at this time, and everybody knows it. My whole family knows what he's doing. His family knows. They confronted him, and he just doesn't care.
Okay. And how long has this I don't care attitude existed?
Since June.
Okay. So, like, if we go back to January, February, March, he wasn't acting like that?
No.
Okay. All right. In answer to your question, I don't know. I can't tell you if he ever will come to his senses or not. I'm telling you that it sure sounds like, I'm talking about just what it sounds like. It sounds like that something has occurred that apparently you aren't aware of. That something occurred that made a change in him. Because we have a guy, 14 years ago he had an affair, that's bad, but but has been living a relatively stable life, and that the difficulty in relationship with you is that you're the disciplinarian and he's passive. Sometimes that can set up some real problems, because if one spouse is really very strong and the other spouse is really much more laid back, sometimes the strong spouse can run over the laid back spouse without even realizing the effect that they're having on that person. But even then, if that were the case, if it's a situation where it was like, I feel run over, I feel like I'm being dominated or controlled, which is a possibility because you're strong-willed and he's laid back, so that's one possibility. But even then, it's kind of interesting that all of a sudden, I mean, like out of nowhere, he starts in March having affairs, and he has 4, boom, 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 which means that some kind of decision in his mind was made, whether he consciously made it or just evolved into it. He made some kind of decision. Now, I really am curious as to why it started then. But again, I'm not going to ask you any more about that because you don't know. So here's the solution, as best I can tell you, my friend. Number 1 is understand that passive, laid-back people can feel very controlled and dominated when they're married to a strong person, and you're a strong person. So you need to be very much aware of that. In his belief and value system, that he's had for most of his adult life, would he have thought of adultery as being wrong?
Yes.
Okay. And so he has changed his belief and value system relatively quickly, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, something's in there. I can't tell you what it is. I don't know. And will he come to his senses? Will he have remorse? If indeed he comes back to his beliefs and values, if he returns back to what he believed before, that adultery is wrong, you shouldn't be doing this, then in that case, yes, he will regret what he did and will be sorry for doing it. If he does not come back to his belief and value system, then that's not going to happen. And I can't tell you whether or not he will. I would recommend that you consider the possibility of getting into our online course, our Save My Marriage course. I don't know if it's open right now or not, but I think it's about to be open in the next few weeks. And I'll give our telephone number again here at the office, and if you can call and check on that, because it's designed for the one person who's wanting to save the marriage when the other person is not. And so if you call 866-903-0990, that's 866-903-0990, you can ask about that online course. In the meantime, I recommend try not to panic and really try to begin to understand how your personality affects his, so that if the door gets opened again, that you don't wind up back in the same place again. Oh, and if in the meantime you find out about something that happened, like his best friend died or whatever, something that was a precipitating factor, a trigger, I'd be curious to know about that.